My time in Rollette's Boundless Babe Society is something I will never forget. The Rollettes came into my life in 2019 when I was recovering from something very traumatic. I remember Renee Dullenmeyer and Lillian Elmore sitting on Instagram Live one night and how they were talking about them currently going through the Boundless Babe Society program. And I was like, wait, people actually have friends who support them who also have disabilities. In my experience, anytime I had a friend prior to this program with a disability, it was always comparing who could do what and how we have the same diagnosis. So you should be able to do more. And it was a lot of putting down rather than lifting up. But what made me finally decide to join the Boundless Babe Society was after attending Rollette's experience virtually in July 2021. I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. Being in a room, whether it's a Zoom breakout room or a room in person with people who actually understand what you're going through, and even if they don't understand 100%, they're willing to listen to you um, and be there for you, is something that I could have never imagined I would have in my early tween years. Speaking of those times, I have to thank you, Chelsea Hill, because you are a big reason that I was able to accept the person that I am today. Your time on the show Push Girls came around the time that I was a very angry child that thought I couldn't do what others were doing and I couldn't be what others were being. Seeing you in a wheelchair on TV was a turning point for me. So I want to thank you for that. If you hadn't done the TV show, I don't think that I would have been able to deal with my emotions in a way that was healthy, because there was nobody who looked like me on the Disney Channel or anything at that time. Then you were there, and it made all the difference. That brings me to when I finally decided to join the society in July of 2021. Connor Lundy's was my first mentor, and I can't thank Connor enough for working with me, because my goals were very surface level at first. I wanted to grow my YouTube channel to be able to monetize it, and I wanted to make friends with girls in my stage and at the time stages above me, because I had very few friends and I wanted a bigger social circle. I'm sorry, I lost my place. um, I wanted a bigger social circle. And the last service level goal that I had was I wanted to go on a date. Connor and I worked through my goals over 6 months, and I was pretty close to accomplishing all of them, aside from the dating, but that's another story for another day. I really only put that down because I didn't want to get into what was underneath the surface. Then came the next 6 months. 6 months. Samantha Lopez was my mentor, and again, I can't thank her enough for working with my goals, which were pretty similar. I removed the dating, but still wanted to continue to grow my YouTube channel and therefore my business. However, I also wanted to start to love my body more and to start exercising more. I was already attending dance classes weekly via Zoom with Chelsea and Connor nearly every week, but I wanted to make a commitment to do that every week. I also wanted to make a commitment to closing my Apple Watch rings every day. And Samantha and I worked to do that, And in March, I was finally monetized with my YouTube channel, so that was very exciting. That brings me to June 2022. I had gone through 2 mentors, and I was on the final stage of Boundless Babe Society, and I was in the pilot program that they had just revamped. Maria is now my mentor, and I can't thank her enough for working with me. Maria is somebody who I've learned brings out the truth that you need to know. I'll never forget one of my first calls with you, Maria. And you said, I give you tough love, and sometimes I can be very direct, but my advice comes from a place of love. My goals were simple, so I thought. I had just been monetized a couple of months prior, and I was working towards my first paycheck from YouTube. I wanted to continue to grow my following. Aside from business, I wanted to move my body more, and I wanted to compete in a 5K race with my new step bike. I wanted better mobility and transfers in hopes of traveling one day. And finally, I wanted to be more assertive and speak up when things are bothering me in the moment rather than just let them boil over. Well, in August of 2022, I started using the Peloton application with my new step bike. And since then, I have completed over 150 spin classes, and I can now say I've done 2 5K road races. My pace for a 5K is just about an hour, and I think that's pretty damn cool. Also in August, I received my first paycheck from YouTube. I finally feel confident enough to stand up for myself and have the conversations I need, and I have the conversations that I need to have, and that also feels very freeing. I took my voice and my power back. I'll never forget one of the first month's Zoom meeting topics. We were talking about taking up space and celebrating little wins. Okay, that might have been the first 2 months, but those topics have stuck with me forever. I used to be the girl that was quiet and apologized for being in the way. And even though some days I still struggle with that, I now feel I can own my chair and I could keep taking up space in whatever room I'm in. I deserve to be there just like everybody else, and I cannot tell you how powerful that feels. I became an aunt in my time in the program as well, and I can't tell you how nervous I was that my nieces were not going to like me, or that I wasn't going to be able to physically help them as babies need. But Connor reassured me, because she's also an aunt, that we would find our own way in our own groove. And we did. My niece now runs to me the minute she comes in the door, and she's about 2 seconds away from learning how to put the brakes on my wheelchair. And as of recently, she's this close to figuring out how to unbuckle my wheelchair, but I haven't taught her that yet because I don't want her to learn how to unbuckle her car seat when they're on the road. And she's even pushed my wheelchair without me being in it across the floor. My other niece, who I was asked to be godmother for, she's as sweet as honey. We spend hours on FaceTime playing with books and toys, and she makes me laugh even on my darkest days. I'm so thankful my nieces see past my limitations and love me for what I can do for them, and don't fault me on what I cannot do for them. I always thought this program was about being powerful and doing business things, and it is. I'm thankful for those tools that I've learned for life as a disabled woman and a disabled business owner. However, the biggest takeaway that I've learned from this program is that I deserve to take up space just like everybody else, and that people will love me for the way that I am, just the way that I am. I just have to take off the mask and show up as my authentic self. Thank you, Chelsea, Bria, Connor, Samantha, Maria, and my lovely accountability partners, Bridget, Marie, and my new friend this 6 past months, Tiffany. You guys have answered text messages at all hours of the day and night. You guys have kept me accountable. You guys have allowed me into your journeys to grow as humans, and I truly appreciate it. Without all of you, I don't think I would be where I am today. It hasn't been easy doing the work, but it's been 100% worth it. Thank you all for a beautiful program that you've created. And one day I will get to thank you in person. But for now, I hope my words are enough. And this is going off the speech a little bit, but I just wanted to say thank you for making this all accessible via Zoom and videos. Because like I said, I hope to get to California one day. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to be present here, all the way across the country when I'm in Connecticut. So thank you so much for everything, and I cannot tell you how much this program means to me. I love you all.